Perfect. Okay, I'm just gonna let people in now.
Okay.
Perfect. Okay.
All right. Avneet, maybe will you man the admitting people?
Yeah, I got it.
Very cool. Okay, we'll give it like 1 more minute for people to trickle in and then we'll get started. You can draw on Zoom now? What? How do you get rid of it? I figured it out. This opens up a lot of opportunities.
I actually did that on my professor's slides once. It was really bad.
Okay, now that Eva's here, the press will get started. I'm just kidding. It's a good time to start. Dang, I don't even think she heard my joke. Let me just close this. Okay, hi everyone. So thank you for coming.
Sorry, I have to call. Guys, it's been a long week. Honestly, I just want to say if anybody's in this meeting right now, please give yourselves like a pat on the back, because I know that myself, I've been feeling this semester has come on real strong. So just like, give yourself a pat on the back. You keep going. Okay, I now call this meeting to order.
Thank you so much, Gabby. Hi everyone, thank you for coming. We are gonna try and make this a fairly in and out meeting. I know everyone is tired on this Tuesday night. Booker, have you been able to hop on? Okay, in that case, I will read our landed and slave laborers acknowledgement. And he might be able to join us later, but he apologizes for not being here. He had something important come up. We wish to acknowledge that the University of Virginia sits on the homeland of the Monacan Nation, whose members remain a vital part of the local community, and that UVA's original structures were built and maintained by enslaved people. We further wish to acknowledge the history of violence, displacement, and racism that led to UVA's establishment and maintenance. It is important for us as the university community to reflect and address the complicated past and present of our university during our time here as students. Abel unfortunately could not make it today. He had something very urgent to attend to instead, but he wishes he could be here, and he will see you all next week. Okay, so hi, if you do not know me, I'm Cece. I'm the Vice President for Administration. My pronouns are she, her. And so I just have a couple quick updates. One is that membership requirements and update will go out in an email to everyone next week. So you'll get updated on where you are in membership requirements. We are going to scrap the internal training requirement that we added this year. We do want to bring it back next year, and we have developed some of the trainings, but haven't given people enough opportunity to actually fulfill them. So we don't want that to be an extra stressor on your time, or to be something that people don't get anything out of. So we're going to get rid of that for this semester, but please make sure that you fill out the form for your external training. That can be really a wide variety of events that you go to. Perhaps another club's Gen Bod, perhaps it was protests, perhaps it was an official training, like a green dot training. So if you have any questions about that, reach out to me or Anissa, who's our director of membership, and ask if that counts, or if you're unsure, just submit it. So that form is in the leadership manual, which is it's pinned in the Gen Bod and leadership Slack channel, and I can resend it as well. If you got an email to sign the data privacy agreement, so this is finance, data science, SAS, exec, I believe that those are all the groups that got an email to sign the data privacy agreement. You do need to sign that as part of your membership requirements, and that's due Sunday at midnight. I wanted to highlight that it's election season at UVA, and so the University Board of Elections runs UVA's elections for SEDCO, UJC, honor, and that includes reps, anyone in the rep body who is interested in being a rep for next year. Their UBE emailed out an email to the whole school outlining the calendar for elections, and the first step is to fill out an eligibility quiz in order to be eligible to run, and that is due February 3rd. I think that's that's this week. I don't know what day it is. It's at 4 p.m. So please, like remember that reps. If you want to rerun for rep, you have to get that in February 3rd at 4 p.m. If anyone's interested in running for, well, the only exec positions are that are elected are chair, president, VPA, and VPO. If you're interested in running for anything, feel free to talk to anyone on exec and get that form in. Awesome. Today we will go over the spring budget, and so your the budget like was due, that's past due. If you have any like pressing huge things that you think that you need in the spring budget but missed, we can include amendments at our ledge session next week. So reach out if there's anything you're like, oh my god, I totally blanked on that, but only if it's like a significant thing to put up a budget amendment. Use your discretion there. And then lastly, attendance for today, the link should be in the chat in 1 second. It's also pinned in the Gen Bod channels. And in honor of the first day of Black History Month, the code word is Black. All right, thank you guys. Ryan, take it away.
Hey everyone, my name is Ryan. I'm the Vice President for Organizations. I just have like 3 really quick updates. So spring activities here, that was on Friday and Saturday. Based on the website analytics, it was about like 400 unique visitors per session. Probably some of those people were like from the organizations themselves, but fairly decent turnout. But if anyone was not able to like make the fair and is still interested in some of the orgs, like those maps, the digital maps are still on our website, and a lot of the organizations that sign up put like contact info there. So I definitely encourage you to check that out if you're still interested. The second thing is just SAF funding round submissions too are gonna actually opened on the 29th. Send an email out about this tonight, but these will be due at right now, they'll be due on the 12th, though we might actually extend it a couple days just because rolling round 1 is a couple days delayed, but we'll provide updates once we know for sure on that. And then the last thing is the CIO application window opens today. So soon you'll be getting more org rec bills again. And that window will be open until the end of February. And yeah, those are my updates.
Hi, everybody. My name is Gabriela Hernandez, and I'm the chair representative body for those of you who don't know me. So I really quickly just wanted to echo what Cece said, that elections are going to be happening soon, and the eligibility quiz is going to be due on Thursday, February 3rd. I also wanted to say that if you personally just kind of wanted to get like more background on really what it means to be a rep, like I would love to just like have a conversation with you. I know that the turnaround time is kind of quick, but I'm definitely willing to set aside time with any of you who just like want to know more. So if you guys want to know more, you can like Slack me. We could set up like a meeting time, like for like a phone call, or we could get coffee, whatever you're comfortable with, and we could just like talk about it. So definitely let me know if that's something you're interested in. And I also attached the link to the Google form. Sorry guys. To the Google form. I haven't done this since the beginning of the semester, guys. I was really proud of myself. My streak is off. Anyways, I attached the Google form if any of you guys are interested in just like going ahead and filling out the candidate quiz. But like I said, if you want to know like more information, just like reach out to me and we can set up a meeting time. Thank you.
Hi, everyone. My name is Hollison, she, her pronouns. I'm the chief of cabinet. First, some information that I was asked to pass along from Parking and Transportation, my notes there, by Parking and Transportation, to convey that they have 2 different transportation options for late night transportation. The first one is Night Pilot, which is a new bus route that will generally serve first-year dorms, the IRC, and libraries. So that'll be on a 20-minute loop from 10 p.m. to midnight, and then at the same time, because they don't have buses running to like upperclassmen dorms or anything, from 10 to 12 they have UTS on demand, which if you go into the Transloc app, there are locations that you can go to where they will pick you up and then take you where you would like to go after that. You have to meet them at a certain spot, also from 10 to 12. And again, especially if you live in upperclassmen housing or an area that was formerly serviced by late night bus routes or like middle of the night bus routes, and have complaints about this, I would love to hear them. So please keep that in mind. And also, Safe Ride will be operating as it always does from midnight to 7 a.m. So that will stay the same during that timeline. Other news, we have a new director of student life, Ava Prohl. I'm very excited to welcome her to the team. There is probably a link with more information about Night Pilot. I will dig it up. I have seen it. I just have to find it after this, but I will post it in the chat in a sec. But anyway, new student life director, Ava Prohl. She's great. She was on the student life agency. Kristen Captain did a great job of being our director. She just got a little busy this semester, so she'll still be serving on the team, but we're very
Holly?
excited to. Oh,
Ollie,
yeah.
I'm so sorry. I'm actually in Newcomb right now, and they're telling us to evacuate the building. I don't know what's going on, but I have to leave. So I know that we're probably gonna get to ledge session just like in a. Okay. Okay. Sorry, guys. This is kind of weird.
Abel misses one gen bod. No, Gabby, you're good. Gabby, you're okay.
It's so funny.
Is your chair pro temp here?
Yeah, no, we're good. We're good. We're probably just gonna go outside. Honestly, if I have to take this meeting outside, I will do that. But okay.
All right, let's keep going with exec
Can you
updates.
carry my laptop?
Anyway, please approve the budget. Cabinet worked really hard on it. That's all we have. Thank you.
Okay, just a couple of quick announcements. First thing would be the capital campaign. So we will be getting testimonials from everybody who has used the service. And then you can also read the details on the slide for Airbus. And that is sort of what we're going to be doing for the spring break service. Also, there are some details on the slide regarding International Student Summer Storage and how we're going to roll out soon. Sorry, this is very chaotic right now, but that's all of my announcements.
Hi everyone. So I don't have any particular announcements this week, but there are some things in the work that I just need to confirm. But please be on the lookout in the future for a few things. And yeah.
Thanks, Booker. I love Gabby's live action shot of evacuating Newcomb right now. Thank you for keeping us informed, student council. All right, Avni, take it away.
I hope everything is okay at Newcomb. Super quick, bi-weekly newsletter should be back next Thursday. And please make sure to follow us on Instagram and Twitter so you can see everything that we're working on and stay up to date with everything. Thank you.
Awesome. Thank you all so much. Sarandon, if you are here, go ahead and unmute. And we have a mutual aid committee spotlight today, which is really exciting.
Thank you, Cece. Hey y'all, my name is Sarandon. I use she, they pronouns. I'm a fourth year here at the university. And I wanted to talk to y'all quickly about what is mutual aid and what is, who is UVA Mutual Aid and kind of the work that we've been doing this year. So again, this will be kind of quick, but if someone wants to go to the next slide. So what is mutual aid? I think that there's been a little bit of confusion about what exactly the purpose of mutual aid is and how it's different from say a non-for-profit or just another charity. So I think this quote really just sums it up beautifully. And it says, mutual aid projects are a form of political participation in which people take responsibility for caring for one another and changing political conditions, not just through symbolic acts or putting pressure on the representatives in government, but by actually building new social relationships that are more survivable. So just kind of to elaborate on this, I really think that to kind of sum it up short and sweet, I think that mutual aid is about organizing for better material conditions, particularly organizing for better material conditions for the multiracial working class. We acknowledge in our mutual aid projects, in mutual aid spaces, we acknowledge that within our capitalist system, basic needs are just simply not being met and have not been met for literally centuries, such as housing, food, clean water, healthcare, and so much more. Therefore, we cannot wait for our government to provide us with better material conditions. It is up to communities to do so. If you want to go on to the next slide. So some core principles of mutual aid projects. And I'm actually really sad. I think that my pictures have not shown up, and I'm sorry. I promise that the pictures would have made it a lot more fun. And so some core principles is understanding that it is our system, not the people that are in the system, that are the problem. Again, we acknowledge that, just racialized capitalism is the problem, right? Another core principle, and this is kind of a thing that I like to say that I think is just simply true. The people closest to the problem are also the people closest to the solution. Again, it's not going to be charities, it's not going to be not-for-profits, it's not going to be NGOs, it's not going to be missionaries that better our communities, it's going to be the communities themselves. And with that being said, mutual aid projects are community ran, our community ran, and also is ran by members, not donors. I want to go into the next slide. So how is mutual aid different from charity? And I think that this is an often question. If you've ever wondered this, like, please know you are absolutely not alone. To kind of just sum it up, non-for-profits and charities are typically ran by the rich, or at least these orgs rely on the wealthy for donations. Therefore, the wealthy tend to make decisions for these organizations. And to put it quite frankly, a lot of rich people simply do not have a vested interest in bettering the material conditions of everyday people, and really have no interest in shifting power from themselves, aka the wealthy, to everyday people in their communities. Mutual aid is one of the many strategic ways we can build power within our communities, and again, better material conditions. And also something, again, that I just really want to hit on, mutual aid is volunteer based. This means volunteers get to decide where and how money is spent and where resources go. Again, this typically means that there's no string attached compared with other kind of charities. With charities, you technically see like strings attached, like, oh, it has to go to people that are sober, or it has to go to people like quote unquote deserving poor people. And again, that's just absolutely not what mutual aid is about. It's about bettering our community, and it has no strings attached. Awesome. So what is UVA Mutual Aid in particular? I'm glad you asked. We started in March of 2020. I'm pretty sure it was like the day that classes were announced that they're going online, was when UVA Mutual Aid was announced. Since 2020, we have distributed over $100,000 in no string attached monetary grants. And I think the reason why UVA Mutual Aid is really important to have on this campus in particular is that UVA has had a very long history of harm and harming students, workers, and community members in UVA's culture of elitism and white supremacy. With this in mind, we have also seen that students and workers and community members are what has brought change to the university consistently. And that also includes all of you guys doing like the work in STUDCO. So again, give yourselves a pat on the back for that. Y'all are really doing amazing things. If you want to go on to the next slide. Oh shoot, that doesn't have any of our other announcements. I can just drop it in the chat. So kind of just things to be on the lookout for. We'll have some events, and then here I'm going to also drop a couple ways how you can support. Make sure you follow us on social media, and also again, our Cash App and Venmo are at UVA Mutual Aid. And then you can also sign up for our email list, which is drop in the chat as well. Again, be on the lookout you can sign up for that and you'll get emails from us. And then here are some upcoming events. We're doing a tabling on Valentine's Day, which will probably be in Newcomb or near South Lawn. We are doing a event with Flux, which is like the poetry group on grounds, February 19th. And then this is tentative. It's still kind of up for change, but we plan on doing for Black History Month a showing of Judas and the Black Messiah, which, if you don't know, is the Black Panther, is a movie about Black Panthers in Chicago, particularly Fred Hampton. And I think it has a lot of really good themes of what is mutual aid and solidarity. So yeah, be on the lookout for all those great things. And thank you all so much for listening to me talk. I'll pass it back to y'all.
Awesome. Thank you so much, Sarandon. That was great. Definitely we'll be sure to bump all those events. I also want to thank Sarandon and all of the UVA Mutual Aid team for putting together and dispersing KN95 masks and stuff, along with a lot of other groups like Cola, Pumas Cafe, that have been doing some really good work around COVID response. In particular, there was some mutual aid committee members who really put a lot of work in this week to put together those kind of care packages. And I know today they were outside of the MSC, I think, and around Newcomb. So that was really awesome. And we're going to get some to RAs as well. Okay. And with that, there's no public comment today. So Gabby, if you are able.
Real quick, I have a update from a cabinet director.
Go
sorry. Casey, are you here?
Yeah, I'm here.
Okay.
Hi, everyone. My name is Casey. I'm the Director of Academic Affairs. I just wanted to give you all a quick reminder that the add drop deadline is tomorrow. So if you have any classes that you want to add or drop, do that soon. Also, if you have any space in your schedule and are interested in student-run courses, enroll in one of the Cav Ed courses that we're offering. There are 6 courses this semester, and each of them are on the credit, no credit grading scale. You can find them on SIS under INST 1550. And if you're interested in teaching your own course, then enroll in the Cav Ed Pedagogy Seminar, which is listed under INST 3150. Thank you.
Awesome. Thank you so much. And Lillian, I see you have your hand raised. Go ahead and unmute.
Yeah, I have a rep report real quick. So just as an update, Ella and Katie and I are meeting tomorrow morning with the director of SDAC in regards to the paid note-taking position. So for all the other reps on there, if you wanted to get involved in this or if you want to know anything more, please Slack us so that we can at least update you on what happens after tomorrow's meeting to see if you want to join more. But yeah, so that's it. Thank you.
Awesome. That's super exciting. And thank you all for that work. Are there any other rep reports? Raise your hand if so. Okay, seeing none. There's also no public comment today. So Gabby, if you are able, we'll go right into ledge session.
I can. Also, I am outside, so I'm really sorry if I get distracted or if you guys hear like loud noises. I'm going to try to get through this. I appreciate your patience. Okay, we will now enter legislative session. I will begin by calling roll. When I call roll, please raise your hand. Hold on, let me. Okay. Violet Cadet. Lillian Rojas. Nina Santana. Laura Arif. Tyler Bush. Landon Hobbs. Carl Osius. Thank you. Toshara Robertson. Christian Ephraim. Thank you. Ella Tinch. Thank you. Jay Moody. Rathika Kormath Anand. Rand Perry. Jason Evans. Isa Fortuno. Elizabeth Cruz. Rafael Movsezian. Spome Anwar. Katie Cruz. Christopher Joseph. Andreas Masiakos. Thank you. Hongjia Yang. And Princess Olubushe Omasare. Thank you. The roll has been called. I'll now entertain the minutes from the previous general body meeting. Are there any comments, questions, or concerns regarding the minutes? If you have a question or concern, please raise your hand. Seeing none, I would look favorably upon a motion to vote.
Motion.
Thank you, Landon.
Seconded.
Jason? Thank you. Are there any objections? If you have an objection, please raise your hand. Seeing no objections, the minutes pass. I will now entertain SB 22-02, a bill to approve the 2022 spring budget as presented by the Director of Finance, and I'll entertain Cece to speak on this legislation.
Thank you so much. Also, I just wanted to bump in the chat. I said, just for the sake of efficiency, people can just unmute today if they need to say anything, because I'm screen sharing and just couldn't do all that. Okay, so thank you so much, Gabby. I'm sorry. I'm literally so sorry. I cannot share my screen. Okay, we figured it out. All right, thank you so much. So we're gonna go through the budget, the spring budget, and then we will entertain questions on it. And so Jaden, I'm gonna throw it to you to do the overview of the budget. And then reps, if you have questions at the end of Jaden's presentation, exec will take those.
Cool. I'll try to make this pretty quick. Thank you, Cece. Basically, in short, the budget contains $172,287 in student activities fee funding, an additional $9,419 in non-student activities fee private funding, for a total of $181,706 for the total spring budget. I'll start by noting that $62,000 of that roughly has been reallocated from the fall budget. So that's funding that's already been approved, that we did not get a chance to actually spend and complete those initiatives in the fall. So that's just something that we plan on doing later this year. So that's just a simple reallocation. So there's only about $112,000 new spending in this budget. Some of the perhaps most notable new spending initiatives that I think are worth drawing attention to. One is in the Academic Affairs Agency. We've included honoraria for guest speakers. We have been able to, with some of the recent rule changes and interpretation of those, we're now able to fund those for CAVED. Sorry about that. And then in addition to that, we also have a pretty substantial arts fund that we expect to be using in its entirety. We have diversity grants, which have been massively successful in the fall, and we've depleted an entire fund of over $20,000 of that in the fall. So we're really looking forward to having the opportunity to continue to support organizations in that way. Additionally, I've also included a small budget in the finance for the finance committee, because we'll be launching a couple of new support and access service initiatives. And so this will give us the flexibility to make sure that those go off without a hitch. We don't plan to tap into that, but that is like an emergency reserve. And as I said, we are launching the International Student Summer Storage, which is very exciting, as well as some reallocations from the fall. So those are the main ones I'd bring the attention to, and then we're here to answer any other questions. Thank you, Cece.
Awesome. Thank you so much, Jaden. So if reps have questions, Gabby, you can correct me if I'm doing lead session wrong, but if reps have questions, they can raise their hands.
Yeah, sorry. Are there any comments, questions, or concerns regarding this bill? Ella.
Hey, first of all, thank you to everybody who put this together. I wanted to ask about community engagement, if you would be able to scroll to that. Yeah, so under the custodial appreciation, I think this is a great idea. And I was wondering if there's any extra funding. I don't know how many people would be attending this, but if there would be a way to, like, I don't know, give a gift card or something beyond just having like thank you cards, and the food, because these people like really do keep our community going. This is obviously a question that would be for the event planners, and I don't have a ton of background knowledge, so whoever can answer to that. Yeah, so that was my question.
Thank you, Ella. Cece?
Thanks, Gabby. So unfortunately, only reps and elected people can speak to questions during this session, I believe. But I just want to say to the whole rep body that you can add like budget amendments or like add alterations to the budget in any way. And I think that that is like a great thing to add. So if you'd be interested in adding that to the budget or in even adding more rep discretionary funding right now, I want to highlight that there's $500 in SAF discretionary funding. So if you wanted to add some funding there or add it to custodial appreciation and try to work maybe as an ex officio member on community engagement to complete that project as well, you're more than welcome to do that. If it is SAF funding, there are like there's limits on the types of things we can fund, but there's very little limits on how much we can fund. So don't quote me on that. I would, maybe in the next week, you can talk to community engagement and come up with a quote and put that up next week as a budget amendment. But that sounds great to me. I totally agree. Our custodial path is staff is like very underappreciated and do incredible work to keep our community running. And we often don't like highlight that work with a lot of dignity. And so I think that's a great idea.
Thank you, Cece. Are there any other comments, questions, or concerns regarding this bill? Ella?
Again, I don't know if anybody can answer this question, or if I'm asking this question, if I should ask after the meeting to the specific committee, because I know we have to table this and vote on this again. But under the International Student Affairs Agency budget, I was just wondering if like there could be more of a breakdown in like the activities section, just like what specifically that will entail, or if that's discretionary to the agency after it's budgeted for them. I'm just wondering like specifically what that is.
Holly, yeah, go ahead and
Oh.
take that question.
Yeah, so we had that the vagueness that's kind of built into it is because over winter break, code policies changed a little bit. So they had planned some specific events for international students who were here over winter break. And I think that it gives it some leniency on what could be done over spring break, depending on what is and isn't allowable for students who are still in Charlottesville over spring break. And additionally, we ended up using we wanted to use some of that leftover funding to fund international student like activities, as in like CIO activities. So some of the leftover money from last semester is going to roll over to be donated to an international students play or musical, I believe, some kind of theater production that they're putting on. So that's kind of the vagueness that's built in. But if you'd like to talk to the ISA chairs about what specifically they're envisioning, I'm sure they'd be more than happy to talk. And if it's necessary to be more specific, we can build that into it as well.
Thank you, Holly. Are there any other comments, questions, or concerns regarding this bill? Okay. Seeing none, I would look favorably upon a motion to vote.
Motion to vote.
Seconded.
Thank you. Are there any objections? If you have an objection, please raise your hand. Seeing none, the bill is tabled. SB 22-02 has been tabled. We will now exit legislative session.
Awesome. Thank you so much. Also, I want to just give a quick thank you to everyone who worked on that budget. Once again, I know we use the word historic around our budgets a lot, but truly, if you look at past budgets, you're also more than welcome to have access to them. These are really unprecedented budgets that we're passing, funding really unprecedented things. So that's very cool. And with that, I also just wanted to apologize to Gabby because I keep forgetting I'm not allowed to just call on people during live session. I'm going to stop live streaming now, and we can go into public comment. So if you have any public comment, feel free to raise your hand.